As far as picking technique goes, this is just the first, is the most basic one I'm going to teach you. And if you still don't get it after this, of course email me and I'll try and explain it to you a little bit more explicitly. But this is about as good as I'm going to get it. You rest. You have your guitar resting on your knee, the waist of your guitar there, like I've said, and your forearm of your picking hand rested against the outside curve of the guitar, and so that the pad right here of your wrist comes down just on the bridge, just like below it, but so that you can pivot back and forth like this. And then the pick basically points straight in, like an arrow straight into the flat part of the guitar, so it's perfectly perpendicular, a 90-degree angle. You're holding the pick between your thumb and your forefinger just like this, and then you're picking back and forth with that pivot. Bum, bum. Okay, and that's the first most basic picking style. We'll get into some other picking styles in later lessons and later levels, but this is the one I want you to employ right now, is this basic picking style, just with your pick fairly grasped fairly tightly between your fingers, but not so that you're tense. Okay, you just back and forth like that, and practice until you can get it sort of smoothly. Practice like a, maybe to the metronome if you'd like. Start very slowly, and then maybe try the 80 beats per minute metronome, go up to the 100, maybe the 120, and that's it. Now I also want to teach you how to strum, which is sort of the same thing, but you're going to want to come up with your palm of your hand like this and come down a little bit toward the center of the guitar. If you have pickups here, that's where that is, but if you have the hole here, come toward the center, and while you're playing a chord or something that it requires strumming, it's almost like you're just gonna want to shake some water off your hand, and you're like, you go like this, and you're holding the pick the same way, sort of gently between the thumb and the pointer finger, and firmly but gently, so you're not hurting your hand, and down, up, down, just like that. Like you move your wrist sort of to the side, like you're pushing away, flicking water off of your fingers. Flick the water off your fingers and then pull it back in. Your fingers have to be kind of out there like that. A lot of players will have their fingers sort of hang in. You can do that to tighten them into your finger, against your forefinger, if that feels more comfortable. But again, a perpendicular arrow to the surface of the guitar. And that's just your two techniques, your basic strumming technique and basic picking technique. I hope that works for you. If you have more questions, feel free to email me.